Hey everybody, this is Mike back for part 3 of the Secret Project. So we've got Bob Ross as a Space Marine, Salvador Dali as a Chaos Marine, and I was trying to decide. I wanted to do 3, make a set of 3 as a first series, and trying to figure out who I wanted to do for number 3. Decided to try something a little less traditional. So I dug through my memory banks and went with somebody that was legendary to me. The late great Stan Lee. Now again, all of these, between the images and the AI and not having their textures applied when I export the STLs, lose some of their, this is what the person really looked like. But you have some exaggerated features, you have some features that aren't quite right, but once you throw some paint on there, get the color and the texture back, they will kind of come to life. And I did some experimentation with just the STL, a screenshot of the STL, throwing some color on one of my paint apps, and it does work. Again, they're not meant to look exact, they're just meant to be honoring. I mean, it's not like they're going to be marble statues in their honor, though many of them could be worthy of marble statues in some kind of art museum. Anyway, Stan Lee, legendary in my mind. For some reason, the AI put some nasty garbledy-gook letters at the top of the shield. So the first thing I did was took it into Blender, cleared all that off, and put Stan Lee's trademarked Excelsior, his signature move that he signed most of his pieces of writing with. I put Excelsior on the shield. As you saw, the spider that they threw on there, I probably could have cleaned it up, but 1, not the greatest with this program yet. 2, trying to get rid of a lot of the tiny details because I'm not sure how these are going to print. And 3, again, let you, the painter, decide what kind of logo, insignia, color scheme, inking you want to do. Whatever kind of picture you want. Any character that Stan Lee ever invented could go on that shield, and it's all up to you. Otherwise, the Stan Lee model actually turned out pretty good. The AI said, "Oh, I'm going to give him a big conical fire flame-shaped brush," like they did with both Bob Ross and Salvador Dali. I changed it to a dip pen nib. I'm sure at some point in his career, Stan Lee used a dip pen to ink his art. I'm sure that they stopped doing that after the digital age. Actually, he probably still did it. But I didn't do a great job. It doesn't look very nibbish. The slot is too big instead of just a tiny slice down the middle, but I wanted it exaggerated, again, for the detail of the print. So I spent a little time here tweaking this, and something I would love to see is if anybody actually sees these videos or finds these models, downloads them, and prints them, even before they print them. I would love to see somebody download these models and say, wow, this is a crap sculpt job, I'm going to make it better. And I would love to see them do that. I would love to see someone repose them. The AI had a problem giving me dynamic poses for each one, so they're all kind of the same pose. I would love to see someone cut that nib off of there, and if they print it big enough, put a real nib in there, or cut off an arm and green stuff it into a different position, different pose. paint them up. I would love to see finished projects of these. I'm not talking Golden Demon. Gold Demon? I don't even remember right now. The 40K painting, the mini painting competition. I would love to see some paint jobs. Some finished, tweaked, whatever. Your personal take on these. If you think it's a cool idea. If you think it's a dumb idea, I'm sorry. So, Stan Lee, right here, I remember in one of the other videos I mentioned that I had read or heard that you could use Nomad Sculpt to do painting on your models to export textures. And since I had passed over this paint icon on the right side so many times going from tool to tool, I decided to take a few minutes before I got done with Stan Lee to test it out. And as you can see, if somebody wants, maybe I can do a tutorial on how I got to this point. But you can see that it's very vertex painting oriented. You're not getting all the color unless you get those vertexes. That's why I turned wireframe back on. But I mean, even if you don't buy Nomad Sculpt, just think about this. You could download a model, an STL or OBJ probably, or create one in Blender and bring it in. Granted, you can do all this in Blender, but this is handy for on the go. And you could, see I'm adding a light here. You could add lights, you can add textures, and you can experiment with your color schemes before you even get to your mini. Then you could have your phone or tablet sitting next to you as you paint your real mini, and you can use it for a reference. So we're almost done here. I spent some time not duplicating the mesh, what's it called? Subdividing, multi-resing to get more vertices so I can get neater lines so that I can do some silly apologizing for going on a tangent about the painting, but the painting. What's next after this? I have some ideas. Maybe I've already started on some other stuff. We'll see what happens. I might have already started doing some 2D editing of images to take into 3D. Just ideas for other artists in other genres. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. See you on the next one. Bye.